I'm the Regional Human Rights Officer at Uganda Human Rights Commission. Office in Soroti oversees 3 sub-regions, and the 3 sub-regions are Teso, Bugiso, and Sebei. So you might be wondering why are people from Soroti in this place? The jurisdiction to handle to serve people of Bugiso as well. So allow me to use this opportunity to thank you, the CDO, the ship you worked with that made us to raise this number. We thank you so much for the good work. But also we thank you, the division for allowing. As the chairman said, it's a privilege for us to be in this place this afternoon. The Uganda Human Rights Commission in this financial year that is ending, we received fundings from government of Uganda, and that money was supposed to organize 7 community meetings. And the 7 community meetings are supposed to be for Teso, Bugiso, and Sebei. So we picked 2 districts in Bugiso, then we picked 1 from Sebei, then 4 from Teso, many districts. The people of Industrial Division should count themselves as blessed, because in the whole of Bugiso we have decided to zero in this place. So as Uganda Human Rights Commission, we have a mandate to protect and promote human rights in the country. For everyone, every Ugandan and every person living in Uganda, whether you're from Uganda or not, as long as you're living in the country, we have a duty to ensure that your rights are respected. So what we are doing today is to promote the rights of Uganda. When we talk of promotion, we mean we are supposed to educate you or to raise awareness about your rights, duties, and responsibilities as a citizen of the country. We organize meetings like this in the community where we interact with you for a few hours. We also do what we call road shows. That one we go with our car with the public address system. Move to every trading center where you've got people gathered doing their businesses. We talk to them about us, and it's important for you to know so that in case there's any violation, you'll be able to claim it and know where to report. So today we are also going to tell you that Uganda Human Rights Commission receives complaints of human rights violations. If our dear friend here and his officers arrest you, they detain you for about 1 week in their police custody without taking you to court or giving you police bond, you can come to our office and make your complaints. If during arrest you are beaten or while you're in custody your relative is beaten, you can come and make that complaint to us. If they arrest your relative, they beat the person and the person dies as a result of too much beating, or they shoot at the person and the person loses life, you can bring that complaint. So basically that is how we work, but when you bring your complaint, we shall investigate it for free. When you come to our court, we have a court that is where there's a regional office in Soroti. Transport from Bale City here up to our office with your witnesses is covered by Uganda Human Rights Commission. Transport and accommodation and your meals. But sometimes you may not even need to register a complaint. You have a relative who has spent like a week or 2 weeks, but you don't want the case to be registered at Uganda Human Rights Commission. You can call us. Sometimes we made suspects to be produced in court immediately, or they are released on police bond if the case is not capital in nature. So it's very important that you pay attention during the 2 hours of engagement that we are going to have with you. That you learn from us, services you can get from the commission. You may not need it, but your relative, your neighbor, your friend may need it. And we are all aware that we are in the period of elections. And during elections, there are issues of human rights violation. Best friend in custody, but you have nowhere to run. It's important that we pay attention so that we learn from us so that we can make the best use of our own.
To work with all partners and the government agencies. I want to say that when Sylvia came to my office, I think I made her work very simple, because I told her, name the date, and for us we shall be there. And that's exactly what we did. I want to thank the members, because immediately she left my office, I picked up my phone and called, because I know that in this community we have a number of people that help us during our community engagements, and I think you can see how quick it has been. I want to say that for us as Industrial State Division, we pledge to closely work with Uganda Human Rights Commission. I want to report that Balebe coming to this place was not by accident. Balebe because it's an accident. No, we came here the people, the things that are happening in this area. balebe baba batire bakola kuwenzeresa baza ku region bareba balebe biseera byekokwangala kimisango mu mbale mu kifura kwa mawa balebe kuli atwera kimisango baza ku police bareba but show us the list of cases kifura bukali kya maene baba luma bali kimisango kifura bukali kya maene balebe mwikupira wa Mungu. Okay, members, that's why I'm saying, hello, that's saying that inga kwafutulire kuri kimisango kifura bukali basi bafura bukali bakuli nabo mabusu babandu bafuna biyanga during this time of elections bafura bukali mumbale mubama mu area neno kuli atwera basale. So because of that statistics about no meeting neno ni kuchirewa kuchire na uyo kubolere babandu befe such that kufuna buwanga funga ne kulu kwinjira munani mukhalu ngani kuli ya no huri bale be kuli ya no huri unyawaza kushebuliranga mu week leko babambolere badimbo bali kumukamba na you campaign ziri kuna ne official. Yes, isn't it basale kana shikurerano kumanye what should we do during this time, how do we avoid being caught on the wrong side of the what? Of the law. So briefly, that's why we are here, and we thank you so much for choosing this place.
Mu kiseera ekituufu kubanga tugenda mukola ki mukulonda ate ekirala sijja kutuyambako omwaka ogujja gwa mbaga. Now, yes, ekyokubiri no gwambaga yes, so ebeera mu kavuyo. Ekisookera ddala njagala kubategeeza aba Human Rights Commission bagamba nti na uyombi naye nze nga bwe ndaba si yembi ennyo kubanga nawuyo eno ku kiseera gye mmaze okutuulamu kati kupi ndi kuweza myaka 4 eri kifo ekwasaganya abantu okuva mu district okuva walala nene bajja wano kati bwe bajja bakola ekikolobero byonna ne babateeka ku ki kunawuyo. Kati waliwo omuntu omu ayogedde responsibility obuvunanyizibwa bwaffe nga abanawuyo tuteekwa okuripotinga ekibi kyonna kyetukola ki kyetulaba ekyo. That is our responsibilities as a citizen. We have to report whatever we see bad to the authorities. Kati waliwo abalala bakola ki abeetya okukola bwe batyo. Okay, ndi wano okwogera ku rights obuvunanyizibwa owa omusibe. Yes, mu definition ya bantu bano aba human rights bagamba nti buli muntu yenna alina obuyinza okuva wa Katonda. Toteekwa okubibwa, oteekwa okutambula firi, oteekwa okulya, oteekwa okufuna okusomesebwa n'ebirala. Naye nga as you are also supposed to have that, you must also respect others. Kati nzijja kubasibe omuntu bwe banga akwatiddwa n'aleetebwa ku poliisi, bwe mumuleeta ku poliisi temutwalayo kubanga kati si omuntu ayagalibwa, si omuntu ateekwa okutalya, ateekwa okulya, ateekwa okufuna obujjanjabi, ateekwa abantu bwe bateekwa okujja bamukole ki bamulabe boogere naye. Bwe banga alina balooya ateekwa okukola ki okubeera nabo, ateekwa okunaaba, ateekwa okukola byonna. Naye ebyo sijja kwogera kubanga njagala I want to sugarcoat anything. Waliwo abasirikale abalala abatakola ki abatakitwala ng'ekituufu. Omuntu ajja aleese emmere nti asaba y'emmere wedde, ekyo nkyogera. Naye nze bwe munsanga afadhali bwe jangu waliwo mmwe kumbalala kummwe abajja ne tukolagana wamu. Ekyokubiri, omuntu bwe banga mulwadde, you have to give that person katugambe nti musibe, muwe bondi omuwene medical form agenda afune ki omujjanjabi akomewo. Okay, waliwo ekirala webanga alina abantu be abasobola ababuwolereza the advocates and the rest. Yes, he is free to come and talk with those people. Ate kujayogera nabo ebimusango bye. Naye abala bagamba nti ebyo tetwagala, which is not true. Okay. Yeah, Madam Matilda ayogedde ku bya the responsibilities of officers, obuvunanyizibwa bwa officers. Katugambe mu COVID tubadde to protecting the spread of a pandemic. Sicho ebadde national wide. Naye waliwo abasirikale abalala abaali bakola ebitasaana. I want to tell you people, I was given a nickname during that period of Galawu. I knew I was doing my duty, isn't it? But I just come and inform you, please close. I don't beat. I inform you, you either do it, but others were a bit stubborn, so that when people come from CPS or somewhere, they use force. Yes. At least when you are using a force, you have to use a minimum force. Okay. Nga omusirikale bwe banda ajja gy'oli ateeka okubeera n'ebintu bimeka bisatu. Ekisooka bwe banga ndi mu uniform oteeka okutegeera nti ndi musirikale, sijjo? Kubanga nange nina obulamu, I also have my right. Kati bwe nzijja gy'oli nikugamba nti maama nzize wano, nze bampita gundi omupoliisi okuva nawuyo, nzize okukwata kubanga nakino. We have to explain to you, tuteeka okubategeeza lwaki nzize kikyenjagala. Kati bw'ogaana awo nja kukozesako ki minimum force. Naye ate ennaku zino kyetukola webanga omusango mutonotono ngezaako nnyo okugamba abasirikale bannange, if somebody comes and says that webanga omuntu aze n'agamba nti bawanga ankubye, remember it is a family issue. Nze kyenkola bayingiza omusango ogwo ne bakuwa medical form ogenda okola ki ofuna obujjanjabi, then I write a summon Peter o nakukubye ku summon either bawo oba omuntu omulala. Kati bwagaana okujja awo tugenda nitukola ki kwata transport. Tetwandibagambye okuleeta ki transport, naye kati kanjogere nga ki nga nawuyo. Omanyi byonna muteeka okusanga kuki ku police. All stationaries muteeka okusangawo form, naye bwe mujja tubagamba nti mugende mugula medical form nimbye mugenda ne mugula kubanga sirina ate nteeka okukola ki bateeka okumpa naye tebampadde kati ndeka omulimu, so nteeka okubagamba ekyo kisooka. Ekyokubiri nga nawuyo okuva lwe najjaawo tewali nasangawo epiki emu ne bagamba nti batwala okukola ki okugirongoosa eyo negenda tetulina. Naye waliwo abayitiriza bakugamba nti transport mitwale 5. Are you going just here? Umbulira mitwale 5. Please chengezaako kubagamba abo be bantu abatwonoona webanga mujje kunze nga osi. Waliwo ebintu ebirala bikolebwa bannange ebintu ebikolebwa nga nze simanyi. Njogera kino nga sibatya. Waliwo abakikola naye oluvannyuma ne mujja munemukola ki nemucomplaininga mabega, naye kikole janguwa osi naye owulire osi agamba nti mitwale 5. Waliwo maama oli maama Kakayi yaleeta omwana omuto nga taata wa mugobye mama, so waliwo senga wabadde mukuuma. I used my own transport ni mutwala paka watata we webanga nina nikolo ki nteeka okuwa. Okay, kanzireyo ku mob justice. Bwe mukwata omuntu ng'akoze ensobi bannange waliwo kino kyengezaako okubagamba, temukuba okumutta. Bwe mutta waliwo ebintu ebina gye mukoze ki gye mukoze. Ekisooka eteeka tekiriza okutta omuntu oba omaze okukola ki ose omenyeze amateeka. Ekyokubiri obujulizi oba ogikoze ki odise okay basobola kuba tewali omubbi abeera omu basobola kubeera basatu bana bataano kati ose ono omuntu eyandibayambye okufuna obujulizi obulala omaze okukola ki omukutta ekyokusatu property lost kubanga ono yandibagambye nti ekintu kino tubadde nagundi netugenda netutunda mu kifo gundi era bwogenda ofunamu okuwadde akatono tofiirwa nnyo naye kati omuse ebirala byonna bikoze ki bigenze so ngezaako nnyo okubagamba ku lw'ekiseera nsaba bwebanga tugenda mu election bwebanga omanyi nti gwe mwenyini olina right ne ballot yo bwebanga omanyi nti njagala chairman LC1 ate omanyi nti agenda okukola olukiiko naye abantu bajja kubeerawo kavuyo togendayo linda on that day yogo naye olabye omuntu ateese wano najjolo akoze kati bwenzijja ninkukwata onagamba nti ndi mubi so those are the things avoidance is also can also help
bwelishirishe bwenkanya wewe wapya omundu bamupire nga bakanambi kumwira oba muna kakimano wayira mu madwaliro bamujanja bwaramukosi wamala olukobolayo ku polisi itakomore halikambe kumukwayo wahambire n'omusibe bamubwere kumukamba ori nukobola wati yawetako bujanja buno nukobola wati abasibuye umundu kanehuhonya umundu washo omukuruyo ate nga ali bujulizi bumala bamala babukula efairo baloberako bamala bakulakira awewe ureyemu byositsana bari uri nibunyala ukwingirira zisonga za abandu atakusanga kwe kulimo kamanita
ganire kumanya content nga mbere bampambire like ngomusibe ufugirizwa kumala zina kuzenga ku police atenga zina kuzanga zatuleko nga nshiriyo babantu bange bafugirizwa ku police amagiro go mu office zisinga ko wona mwe
webanga omupolisi olina obukakafu nti mupolisi gundi akonaivinze ne gundi ne bakuba oli get that individual police nowadays somebody answers for himself ate ekyokubiri sife abasembayo you can go and report to division or region tofa n'ebizibu byo kasito okitegeera obulungi nti chairman agenze n'awa polisi sente ne bakuba oli genda omuripotinge era nze bajja kunkwata oba bajja kukwata polisi oyo oba omusirikale oyo akubanye n'akole ekibi kaso n'obujulizi you can even go to human rights.
My name is Josephine Akello. I'm the Regional Human Rights Officer at Uganda Human Rights Commission. I'm based at the Regional Office in Soroti. The Regional Office in Soroti oversees 3 sub-regions of Teso, Bugiso and Sebei. In total, we cover 19 districts with 2 cities of Mbale and Soroti. As you all are aware, Uganda Human Rights Commission is a government institution established by Article 51 of the Constitution to protect and promote human rights in the country. And we have a number of functions we carry out as a commission to protect and promote human rights. But today's engagement has been in relation to the promotional role of the commission to educate the general public about the human rights duties and responsibilities as citizens of the country. But also the special thing about this meeting was to raise awareness regarding the upcoming elections. We are all aware that election has a lot to do with human rights. So for us to have a free, fair and credible election, there are a number of human rights issues that are always embedded in it. So it's important that the public gets to know about what they're supposed to do in all the processes of election and to ensure that they don't get into conflict with the law for their rights not to be violated. You've noted that during elections or in the previous elections, there have been some cases of human rights violations, somehow due maybe to lack of awareness about their duties and responsibilities. So we raise this so that the public know what is required of them during the electoral processes. The Commission from May until now across the country in all the 12 regional offices have been conducting human rights education, what we call community baraza, in all the 12 regional offices, and our focus has been on human rights and election, but also we talk about human rights duties and responsibilities in all our engagements to prepare the general public. For Sorority alone, we are supposed to have 7 community barazas, where we go to different communities to talk to them about the human rights duties and responsibilities. And so far, we've had 5 community meetings. We had 4 community meetings in Teso this month, and we had in Kapelebiong, Katakwi, Kalaki, and Soroti district. And engagements have really been good. People were empowered on the rights, duties, and responsibilities, but also we empowered them on what they're required to do during the electoral processes. And I'm very glad that most of the Ugandans have already registered for elections, and also the one who wants to stand have already picked nomination forms. The special interest group, they did theirs, and also the ones that are going up for the parliamentary have also picked up their forms, and also councillors and the rest. So we are really grateful, and they are aware that on that day they are supposed to do the polling, but before the polling we've been educating the public to attend rallies so that they know the manifestos of the different candidates, so that they're able to make an informed choice of candidate, a candidate that is going to represent their views or their challenges at the different positions of leadership instead of any other issue. So we've been encouraging the public to ensure that during the electoral processes, when campaigns begin, the process should really be peaceful. There should be no violence. People should learn to respect rights of each other, and also candidates should be in position to abide by the rules set up by the Electoral Commission for us to have a free process or a fair process. At the regional office, tomorrow we shall be having another engagement in Sironko, Dadri. Then from there we shall wind up our community meetings in Kapshora town. So far the regional office has had 5 community meetings. We are going to have the 6th one, then the 7th one in Kapshora. We have covered all the 3 sub-regions, but due to inadequate funding, we have not been able to cover all the 19 districts and 2 cities, but we just selected a few. But also, apart from the community meetings that we've had, the Commission has also inspected a number of places of detention in this period, this quarter. We inspected about 76 detention facilities in the region, and we had a dissemination meeting with our key stakeholders in the administration of criminal justice in the 3 sub-regions of Teso, Bukisu, and Sebe, and the deliberations have really been good, and we hope that there will be improvement in places of detention. Most of the issues that we've been getting in our community meetings have been the issue of limited facilitation of Uganda Police Force to do their policing work, which is sometimes force the police officers to demand for facilitation from people who report complaints to police. In some places you hear people saying that they are being asked to give money to transport, to either arrest suspect and have them transported to other stations, or to help with investigations. And this has been because of the limited funding that the government has been giving to police. So we really appeal to government of Uganda to ensure that police is adequately resourced so that they are able to do their policing work. But also the other challenge that we noted, or one of the issues that came up, was the issue of suspects being released on police bond by the police. We have to take note that police bond is a right that every suspect is supposed to have. When you have clocked 48 hours and your file is not ready for you to be produced in court, the law requires that police releases you on police bond as they continue with investigations. But if file is ready, you're supposed to be produced in court. So the public should know that releasing a suspect on police bond does not mean that he or she has been set free, but is to give time for police to do investigations as they don't abuse the right of this person who was staying in the police custody. But also appeal to the public that when you report a complaint to police, don't wait for your suspect to be released. Make sure that you follow up on your case, provide all the relevant evidence, witnesses, documentary evidence that is required for your case to be worked on. Then the other issue was the issue of street children came up in our engagements, that there are rising cases of our children going on the street because as parents we are failing to fulfill our obligation of providing for our children. So some children have opted to find better homes on the street as opposed to being at home. But some children are on the street because of maybe they don't have parents or conditions at home are very difficult, but the street is not where our children are supposed to be. Let us make our homes comfortable for our children to be instead of making them be on the street. But also we've learned that the children who operate from homes, they come to the street during the day to look for money, yet they're supposed to be at school, then in the evening they get back. So we are kindly appealing to the general public that let's go back to our normal teaching or parenting, where we would teach our children on how to raise money or how to work so that they don't go to the street to beg for money from the people. Then the other issue that we had was the issue of challenges with widows, where they are facing trouble with the relatives of their late husbands. They're not providing for they want to take the little property the husbands maybe have left them with, and yet they have children to raise or they have children to care for with the little resources or the property that were left behind by the late husbands. We should all know that Article 26 of the Constitution provides that we have a right to own property as individuals or as jointly. So when someone is married, that means that property is both for the husband and the wife. So when one of the spouses happens to die, then the surviving spouse should be able to take up the responsibility of the estate of the late husband or wife. So let's refrain from taking away property of the widows, but also there are situations where both parents are late and the children are left alone. They are caretakers in the home, but the relatives want to take away the little that the parents have left. This is against the law, and if it happens, these cases should be reported to courts of law so that these people are given redress. Then the other issue that came up was the issue of that we have commercialized politics. People no longer vote through leaders, but we want to vote people who have given us something. We are taken up by material things, and the votes are determined by how much a candidate has given to the voters. And yet that is not what should happen. We request the general public to ensure that we vote leaders that are going to voice our issues in the community, that are going to represent our challenges, and for us to have a better community or a better country. Then the other issue that was also raised during our community meetings was I noted that there's a gap or a knowledge gap on the rights of women and children, that some of the women and children are misusing their rights. We should learn that why affirmative action was brought in favor of women was to bring women at equal position with the men in terms of leadership, education, and political participation. But that does not take away the primary duty of a woman of being a caregiver or being a mother. If you're a mother, you're a caregiver, you're a housewife, your role is to ensure that you care for your family. There's nothing like I have a right to go to anywhere I want and I come back at my own time. That is a misrepresentation of the rights of women. Then also children have a duty to ensure that they respect their parents, they fulfill their duties and obligations. not saying that I have a right and you go to a bar when you're still below 18, you come back at home at your own time, they send you to school, you don't reach school, you don't perform well in school. That is not what we are talking about. We are talking about that a child has a right to education, a child has a right to medical care, clothing, food, and housing or shelter. So we encourage all the children out there to respect the parents, to fulfill their duties and obligations. Basically, that's what came out in some of the issues that came out in our meetings. But for other issues that we've not been able to raise in this place, and we pray that if you have any other issue, you can reach our Uganda Human Rights Commission offices. And the regional office in Soroti is situated in Soroti City at Tuchuloi Road or plot 12. But you can also reach us on the toll-free line 0800-144-206. But also for people in Bugiso, we have a field office here in Bale. We are located at Namatala Ward, Somero Cell. We are just 200 meters away from Af London Police Post. That's where you can find us. Then also for people in Sebe, we have a field office in Kapshora. When you at that signpost to Ark Hotel, you can just move that area about 300 meters, then you'll see our office. We've been receiving very many complaints of human rights violations. We've got cases from Bukisu, we've got cases from Teso, we've got cases of human rights violations from Sebe. And most of those cases have been registered, and we are investigating them. Then the ones that we've concluded investigations on, some of them have already appeared in tribunal for determination of their cases by the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission and other 3 members of the commission. And for your information, this year we had a sitting where the commission awarded about 76 million, over 70 million to victims of human rights violations. And the next sitting will be in the next financial year. So I encourage the general public, if you know you've been arrested, detained beyond the 48 hours, maybe during arrest or while in custody, you are tortured, maybe as a result of torture you lose your life, your relatives can come and make a complaint, or you're shot and killed by security agencies, you can also bring a violation of right to life to Uganda Human Rights Commission. We'll be able to work on your cases. Note that all the commission services are free of charge. In fact, when your case reaches tribunal, the commission facilitates your transport, accommodation and meals while you attend court or tribunal at Uganda Human Rights Commission. But also, if you cannot make it to any of our offices, you can call on that toll-free line that I've given you. You can call from the comfort of your home, you make your complaint, and we will be able to register your complaint online. Then at the right time, we shall be able to reach your home. You sign your statement for purposes of ownership. If you confirm the contents are what you said on phone, then we shall commence investigations. But for those who have smartphones, the Commission also has a UHRC app. Just go to Play Store or download a UHRC app. Then you can also interact with us on that app. You can also make a complaint on the UHRC app, and you can also get other services on that app.